Hello and welcome back. This is going to be I've got a split recording now. This is going to be a bit messy, so I'm trying to stream it together and get back into where I was. Right, okay. I'm going to do a manual thing on this, I think, to be honest. So we've got precision farming, so... I'd forgotten that I wasn't even part of the field. Quite narrow these are. But that's the beauty of precision farming. No waste. Once you get used to it, like anything, it is fantastic. It really is. But I must admit, I hated it myself to begin with. It's like anything new, isn't it? I remember each time with work, I swapped Microsoft Office. I absolutely hated each new Microsoft Office. Preferred the old one, and then 3 months down the line, thought, yeah, that's not a bad feature, I suppose. And then before long, you find yourself saying, yeah, I really love that feature, and you'd think, yeah. It's just that human nature thing of change, isn't it, really, to be honest? I think, anyway. We hate with a passion anything new and then grudgingly begin to admit that actually some of it's not bad. I'd forgotten about how in the very first spray of lime absolutely eats lime. I'm not sure if we're going to quite manage to do this in one. I'm going to be close. I think we might. Oh, it's going to be close. Yes. Oh, wow. Fantastic. That's just a splash over here that I think I've missed near the gateway. Whoa. Okay. That was... Yes, let's just pretend that didn't happen, because I was a Larry driving. Right, let's take that. So that's all fields limed. 3 fields fertilised, and we need to herbicide all of them. Let's go and park up in field 29, because I have that sneaky feeling that this one isn't going to be far off done. Oh. I seem to be having a knack for that, just coming up as things finish. I did on my last Let's Play. It's obviously you can't plan it. You've just got an idea, a general idea of that it must be roughly the time, but it's surprising the amount of times. Thank you very much, young lady, for your assistance. Yes, a knack for actually. Now then, will we do those 2 on that? I would have thought so, but I'm not taking any chances. I don't want to be going all the way back, all the way over to 12 and 13, and then have to come back and fill up just for 30 litres of yes, definitely not. And then we shall certainly is expensive. We were on 12,000 at some point. Now we're right down to 7,282. Mind you, at least we left ourselves with the money to do this. Farming is an expensive game, especially if you're using liquid fertiliser. Yeah, when you consider how much liquid fertiliser is, sometimes if you can buy a cheap dry fertiliser spreader, it actually works out more cost effective than using this. In fact, just thinking about what I've just said, there was a really, really nice starting one that's not too expensive that I should have bought. Got an 18 metre spread, especially if we're thinking about buying the Fendt GT, because it's as cheap to buy the Fendt GT as it is some spreaders anyway. With that cheap spreader, I'd be able to do the dry instead of I won't say wasting, because it's not wasting. Right, field 13 we've not done, I don't think. No, we haven't. We've only done mowing. Course generation 13, narrow field, because it is very... It's 20 metres. Why have you got 20 metres? Oh, of course. Yeah, on the front. It's took me ages to work that out. I keep forgetting that I've got what I consider the weight on the front. It's not at all. Oh, I don't know. That's good. I'm not going to save that. We shall see whether that's going to be good or not, or whether I'm going to catch anything with that before we save that course, because I'm not sure. It doesn't look very good. We shall see. Shouldn't take very long to whiz down this field. How big it is. We shall see whether this is a good or a bad course. Yeah, I think looking at some of that bank, we could actually put a much smoother. Let's talk realistically. We could move the earth from the top of the bank and level it out and smooth it out to the bottom of the bank, or in game terms, we could use the smoothing tool to get a bit of a nicer smooth thing, and then re-put the grass on top afterwards when we're finished, so that we can actually utilise a little bit more of the grass. And obviously, as I've said, not the ones on the top of the bank. I'm not going to get rid of those, but those one, like that tree there that's on the right hand side, that's in the middle of the bank. Get rid of that type of tree that really is stopping us utilise, more of the field. And those trees over there, that's the bank I was talking about. There's a lot of our grass on that other side of that is ours, that if we can use something like the tree maverick to wood chip our trees, we will do, and then we shall replant lots of trees on the other side. Let's just see, am I going to be squawking the wooden, that stone wall? Really? You've missed half the field. Honestly. What about that? Oh, do you know? No, we're definitely not saving that course. That's rubbish. Oh, I don't know. Half a job, Bob. Just get those done as well. While we're over here, there's a bit of a red triangle. I think there is at the top end as well, by the look of it. It's missed the corner. Let's just... oh no, that's not. Oh wow, yeah, look at that. I think actually if I keep that high, it's actually going to go over that, isn't it? Alright, I'm going to manually do this with a bit of weird shape. Might have another go with horse blade another time to see if we can get this right, but for our smaller fields, they only take a minute or so to manually go over anyway, so sometimes you just got to do what you've got to do. This is going to be quite a steep turn. Not sure that was the best way to do that. Still, with practice, I'm sure we'll find a good way of doing this in time. And with us using precision farming, we aren't wasting any liquid fertilizer. There we go. Smashing. So let's all of these limed, all of these. So now we need to spray. Let's fill this up though. Let's always like to fill this up for a couple of reasons. One, it's one less job to do, and two, I've got money to do it now. You never know going forwards when you might not have the money to do something, where the foresight that you had now when you could afford it actually saved you your bacon further on down the line when you couldn't afford it. That's my my reasoning. Let's see if we can get that from the other side. Check that. Let's move that out of the way. I don't really want that in the middle of the path. And let's see if we can actually pick that up using good game mechanics for once to see. While that's refilling, let's go grab the just have a quick look at all of the fields, precision farming, and see if we've missed anything. You see the darkening on 14 and 29 there, the two fields. It gradually darkens and goes to where it says the outdated data and it goes black. It actually really means that the darker greens, you see the fields we bought last, it's not that the pH is any difference. We know that we've literally limed all of them, so the pH is equally good on all of them, but the fact that the data is outdated means that the darkness of the data gets darker until the one time, I think it's usually about halfway through year 2 or halfway through a second year, the data starts to go black and you need to rescan the fields. But freshly scanned fields always look nice and bright and green like that's there, for those who aren't used to the shading system of precision farming. Oh, actually, I want to look at yeah, lovely. We haven't missed anything sometimes, so that's all we need to do now. Is we just need to preemptively herbicide spray all of our fields to stop, well, there are some weeds growing on some already, but whilst we haven't got any growth stages or it's grown, once you've done that you can't herbicide, at least I don't think you can. I think once it's fully grown grass it doesn't accept the herbicide, but before that, and when it's growing it does, so it's definitely time. I think that's right. I wouldn't like to swear to it 100%, but I'm sure that is. Right, okay, so then yeah, okay, so let's get this going. No, we don't want that temporary course, we want field 14, 15 metres, go. Let's let that go. Let's fill that as well. For the same, oh wow. For exactly the same reasons as we were talking about, that whilst we can afford, I know lime is very, very cheap. If you can't afford lime, then seriously, there's something terribly wrong. Right. I was just thinking when I said that the money was up to 14,000, I'd spent $5 on the what used to be called the Wopster, the precision farming tool that what I would, as Star Trek would say, was the tricorder. That's what it reminds me of, to be honest. Let's just grab that. Let's move that out of the way. I don't like that there. It seems a bit. Let's try and shove it. I don't know, we've got a front load. I don't want to be moving the the bucket, if I'm honest. So that's why I'm being a bit silly and pushing this around. Right, that's out of the way. Right, let's put the cover on. Yeah, so while that's spraying, while I've literally got sort of time to sort of think, yes, what my plan is, that is, I shall take you through it. I've given you the shorthand version, but what I'd like to do is, if it allows, some of these trees look like proper trees, in which case we will be able to use, obviously this is our land up to this point here, so to chop these trees down and literally then to replace them with a line of trees only up to the back of the slurry yard here. I don't want to be ripping out anything that's going to be a waste of time, and then what I'd like to do is put a line of trees all the way down here, uniform as close as I possibly can, which I think is about 6 foot. I'm going to use the hand plant tree mod, which I absolutely love, and I'm going to literally all the way down here, right the way to where the hedge begins, because this is where, truthfully, all of those trees behind here could literally utilise all of that land. There's such a lot of grass here that, truthfully speaking, it's whether it's building sheds on it or whether it's cutting grass to begin with, there's another 4 or 5, 6 bales off each cut with this. Well, there's a bit of unevenness here. Really drops down and goes very uneven here, so we need to fix the level of the ground. We've got a bucket, so I'm sure with our excavator we can do that. But yeah, that's the plan. Get rid of all of these trees here, after me saying I wasn't going to do that, but also then plant at least 2 for 1 of trees to replace the ones that I chopped down here. I'm not going to do the ones down here that are near the edge of the water, because they do a very good job of stopping, but I may well trim, and I do mean trim, in fact I could do that now, over big overhanging branches like that one there, if it'll let me cut it, of course. That's one of those. Yeah, gotcha. Smashing. Right, lovely. That's all I wanted. Just that weird one that was well into... Oh, that one there's just as bad. They're the weird branches that are like on secondary branches, not an actual branch on their own right. This is where you sort of have to just keep cutting until you can find the sweet spot on the ground. I think I got it. I'm sure I just saw it go. I did. Smashing. Lovely. But yes, I don't want to be chopping much of this, literally only the odd branch like that. But all of these trees, well, we've got time. That's not stuck, is it? No, it's not. No, these are all staying. That one I might well take out because it literally serves no purpose. Again, this one takes a massive chunk out the thing. This one is too close to the castle. I'm going to leave all of these. These can stay. Maybe just this one, but the rest of them I don't want to be mucking around with anything to do with the castle. I want these ones all can stay, but these ones here at the end of our field 13, yes, look at that bank there. So yes, that is all of our land. I do want to be utilising more of that, definitely. So yes, if it will allow me to trim the trees, especially this lot here, all this lot. But yeah, that would very much be grateful of being able to chop all these off and get right back to the... Just see what I mean? See how far back that is? Tremendous. What an absolute waste. Yeah, so I would love to get rid of those trees and say we'll plant a load of trees over there. And again, in that... wow, does that... Oh, it does. with a little bit of work we could actually bank some of the earth up over there and actually make this a cut through here. That would be really useful, and chop this tree so we could actually get into this field without faffing around on the road. That would be very useful. I'm not going to get rid of any on this bank. I'm not trying to look for that. But these ones, the lower ones, like say that one, and especially this one that I did notice halfway up the bank, and I'd like to smooth the bank in places where you can see. Yeah, definitely smooth the bank in places. I don't want to be doing too much with it. I'm really not trying to muck around with the levels or anything like that. Just smooth this so that we could probably utilise the bottom a little bit better. Leave all of those up there. Not trying to do anything here. Again, maybe chop some of the limbs off on this one. Maybe. Let's see if we can do that now. Oh no, I don't want to be chopping the actual tree itself, just the... That's the lumberjack that's allowing me to do that, I think. Just truthfully speaking, that's those little limbs I want gone, and it's not letting me chop because it's below the... Ooh. No. It's just... No, I don't want to chop the tree down. No. Okay. Yeah, we may or may not have a go at that one. We shall see. I don't want to be hacking trees willy-nilly. I want to be replacing any we do hack down, but I do want to be utilising the most we possibly can. We probably could gain us at least 4 or 5 bales extra every single time and maximise the yield off the land that we've got. Also, I did start to make a mess on that, if I'm honest. I'd like to tidy that mess up that I made on those. And they do look like proper trees that you could actually cut, so again in winter I could probably hire the tree maverick and would literally use the... Let's just... You've not quite finished that, my ode. There's a patch you've missed. Let's do field 15 while we're here. Don't think... No, I didn't. I did... yeah. Must remember where we are. What time we're at? 6 o'clock. Wow. Okay. Field 15. 15. Go. See what I mean about the ratio of lady drivers to men drivers? It's almost like a 2-to-1. And I'm not being sexist, this is just me pointing out that there does seem to have been an overcompensation. I'm not sure in reality whether there are more... Well, I am really. I'm just trying not to be sexist or to appear to be sexist. I know there are more... There are still some jobs, obviously, where there are more. I mean, I've worked in the teaching industry, not as a teacher, I might add, but actually in the teaching industry as a support worker. I was a network manager for the schools, and the ratio of lady teachers to men teachers is in primary is humongous. In most of the schools that I taught, I looked after 7 schools networks, and in those 7 schools. In almost all of the schools there was perhaps 1 male teacher and the rest were 17 or 18 lady teachers. So again, it was nothing unusual to see that, and likewise obviously sometimes people skirt over these issues in case of touching a politically incorrect sort of thing, but to be honest I don't think you can. Is it politically correct or incorrect for me to say that there are more lady teachers than there are men in the primary when the statistics say that I'm correct in making that assumption and saying that? So yeah, and likewise farmers, there do seem to be far more male farm workers than there are ladies. Not saying there aren't ladies. Again, I'm a fully trained plumber. In that particular job, there are far more male plumbers, or were. It was very rare when I was in training in the 80s for a lady to be at college. Not frowned upon, I'm not saying that, but again, there were not many ladies interested in plumbing, is all I'm going to say. So again, there were more. It was a more male oriented, and the same with electricians. Not saying there aren't lady ones, not saying there aren't lady plumbers, because there are. I know of some. But again, it's the ratio. There are still some jobs, just as the ratio of lady teachers to men teachers in primary schools is probably 90 to 10. Definitely. That's that extreme. There are not that many male primary teachers, or there weren't in the 7 schools that I looked after the networks for. That's all I'm going to say. But again, yeah, there does seem to be an overcompensation. Is that the right? Oh, hang on a minute. I wonder, can we sneakily get to our fields this way? We can, can't we? I remember there's a gateway, field 11. Oh wow! I shall have to start making that adjustment. It's strange, isn't it? You know, when you do things a single route all the time. Oh wow! Oh, this is the manual job again, isn't it? These are terrible. Now then, can I see though? Oh, this is going to be awkward, isn't it? I can't actually see where I've been. This is by feel. Now then, this time I'm going to do this slightly. Oh, I can't do it how I would want to do it actually. I'm going to clang into the wall. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to go over it. Okay. It's not quite. There's a little tiny patch in the middle, I would say. Looking at that. Where I've missed. It's not far off, apart from that little patch in the middle, which I'm not worried if I get a tiny weenie. There's some weeds. Let's grab them. I can see you straight off. Yeah, that overhanging tree there that literally comes straight into the field, they're the type of thing I'm on about. Oh, just clang there. Yeah, I want to tidy up all of that in the winter, get a little bit of logging done, but only as a tidy up thing. It's not a major thing. I'm not doing any forestry per se, just tidying up to maximise the yield on the fields that I've got. I do like forestry, by the way. It's very much so. I've actually done forestry on my very first map that I ever did on Farming Simulator 19, Sudbury Meadows. Loved that. I literally would often sell the farm and buy the forest that was next door and do forestry, Scorpion King. In the end, I actually swapped to the Lee pear. Love that. That is absolutely fantastic. Cheap, but not. I literally, in the end, I can honestly say that I enjoy using the Lee pear excavator as a tree cutter almost as much. I got a dab hand with using that, to be honest, as much as with the Scorpion King, and of course it's less than 100 grand with all the bits and bobs, so definitely amazing. Now then, I'm not sure if this is more by feel than anything. I don't think I've done that quite. I probably missed quite a bit. So yeah, I'm not a stranger to. In fact, it was on my forestry that I actually learnt how to flip tractors, because Sudbury Meadows has got an absolute. It's so up and down. The hills on it are awful on that first one. So I was forever flipping trailers, tractors, So it almost became second nature to flip tractors. I can usually flip most tractors, not this one I might add, this is a special case in question. Right, did I do this one? No, I can't remember now if I did do this one. Don't think I did. I think this was, I'm getting mixed up between my 29, when I was actually using liquid fertilizer. I'm sure this is the last field now to do, and it's not a real good way. I suppose there is. Let's have a look. Let's see if I can see any weeds, but to be honest, I don't think there were any. So yeah, you can't really see the lack of. You can see the fact that it's hard to tell. You could actually see a couple of weeds on 13, but you can't now, so I'm not sure. Yeah, no, it's hard to tell. So we should carry on, because again, it only sprays if there's a need to spray. So we're not going to be wasting. That shouldn't take long. It's a tiny field, and then it's bedtime. Let's speed time up a little, because it may well be 8 o'clock by the time. So if we stick that on 60, we'll knock the time down. Let's stick the torch on in readiness, because that's going to fade soon. Well, actually no, it's autumn, isn't it? Early autumn as well, so I don't think the nights go dark for a while yet. Let's switch that off. He says as the tractor has a light on. It shows the weed 0% on. Oh well, worst case scenario, I've sprayed this field twice, but I don't think I have. I know my memory's a little bit dodgy, but I don't think I have. Let's get ready to knock that down, so I think 8 o'clock is what it will allow us to go to sleep with. Stick that down to 5. Let's do a bit of universal passenger, aren't we? Let's have a look how much longer. 1 minute and 37 seconds. Okay then. Wow. Tomorrow we can sell, well yeah, we can sell all of them, but we can sell the biggest section, bearing in mind how long it's going to take for them to digest as well. It's going to take probably, we can't start digesting until about dinner time, so I would imagine, to be honest, it's probably going to take nearly all day to digest those 72. I can't imagine it being much less than nearly all day for that amount. And then we've got those other 13 odd to make it up to 105, also to take later in the day, which is from tea time onwards. So we shall see whether we manage to get all of them done. I'm not quite sure that we will, if I'm honest, but we shall see. Otherwise we'll just spread the payments over 2 days. It doesn't matter. Yes, I was trying to do some preliminary calculations, as you do, to try and work out, based upon the map prices, on roughly how much I was getting. I think I totted up to 140 grand based upon average prices with the slurry yard, not great demands or anything like that, and also the standard BGA prices for silage as well. So I think I totted it up to, this was based on 100, I think, was about 140,000. So we shall see. That's how much I totted it up to for all of this. Bearing in mind, I'm not sure, I don't think there's another cut going to happen. Let's stop that, because you're going to stop. I want to just spray that, because you always don't quite finish the field. Right, lovely. Smashing. There we go. Now we've done all field work. We've literally done everything. So tomorrow we can rest on our weary laurels, knowing that we have done all that we need to do. He says, as he reminds himself that you've got 105 bales to take to the BGA. That sounds like a terribly relaxing day. Right, okay, so then let's stick that on the edge there. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. There. It's not switching my light. Oh, it's weird. The third person perspective sometimes makes some of the mods not work properly. I can't get my torches not working. Oh wow. Oh well, I can see. Good job, I can see what I'm doing. Right, so what time is it? 8 o'clock till 8 o'clock. Yeah. Fine, let's go to 9 o'clock because we know that tomorrow there's not much we can actually do, so. Well, I'm glad we've got all grass and everything out in time, and there's no. Tell you what we could do. Whilst we've got a few minutes, in fact, actually thinking about this, I've not set my timer. This is going to be the end of the day, end of that sort of time in that recording session. I will get my words out right. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm just going to end this recording session and I'm going to start another one. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching and continuing on this journey with me. Hope that you're going to be back and to continue yet again to see yet more expansion, especially today. Today should be a day where we actually enjoy the labours and actually cash in on the labours of all that we've just done and see quite a lot of expansion, whether that's to buy one more field. Let's just have a quick look before we end this because I am running out of. Let's have a look. Yeah, fields that are close by. Truthfully, grass fields is number one there, which is expensive, 200,000. That's close enough that we could actually go for that. These ones here, obviously they are. Field 17 is, but it's 332,000. There's no way, and there's no way I'm taking a loan out for that type of money. That is just way too much. 332's got that massive patch of trees, and there's also 305,000. 35 is starting to get a long way away, as is 24, because that isn't too expensive for a grass field. Neither's 35 is getting. That's more than we will have. So yeah, it's starting to stretch a little bit further away, apart from one. If anything's doable, it's that, but that would mean that we'd literally 50 odd grand in the hole. We'd have to loan to actually get that, and we're not going to get that back straight away. So yeah, I'm unsure as to whether just to continue with the fields that we've got and actually keep hold of the money. We need to hire the Tree Maverick and a trailer during the winter. And where is the sawmill's right at the top, right next to the shop. So we'd have to like grab the tree chippings and run them right the way up the top of the map. So we're going to need quite a large trailer to hire as well to maximise on getting all of that lot, because I would imagine all those trees are going to be they're quite thick trees. They produce quite a lot of wood chips. We might break even though with hiring the Tree Maverick and the trailer to get that done, or maybe make a bit of profit, but this is on hard, so we shall see. I've not done any tree cutting at all on the hard. Yeah, I am really a bit of a loss as to what to do, whether we just rinse and repeat the fields and build up the money. Like I say, I'm not sure. I think that's the last cut that we've done today this time, but again we're going to just run 120 speed in fact. Anyway, for now I'm going to say goodbye as I end this recording session, and I'm going to start a new one. So hopefully you'll be back again. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.